So for our problem today, we'll be solving a steel weld connection problem. And the problem reads, given the following data for the welded bracket shown in the figure, A equals to 125 millimeters, B and C equal to 250 millimeters, and the allowable shear stress of weld metal is 145 megapascals. So, ito yung figure natin, and sinabi na A is 125 millimeters, and B is also is 250 millimeters, and C is also 250 millimeters. So, ayan, there are 3 associated problems, and I'll be reading them along the way. But for the first problem, if P, so sa ating figure, ito daw yung P, is 160 kilonewtons and acts at the center of the weld group, what is the required thickness? So sa ating problem na specify na nag-a-act siya sa centroid. So we don't particularly have to solve yung centroid muna sa problem na to, but let's assume na nandito yung centroid natin. And since yung P daw is nag-a-act dito and it is 160 kilonewtons, so ang kailangan lang nating malaman kung ano ba yung shear capacity ng ating welds. Ito, i-resist niya to, di ba? So, since nag-a-act nga siya sa centroid, so equally distributed yung ating shear sa ating weld group, sa lahat ng welds sa ating weld group. So, ayun nga, kailangan nating isolve yung capacity ng ating shear weld. And the formula for the shear capacity ng ating welds is Rn equal to 0.3 FE(XX), or this is the electrode strength ng ating welds, times the effective throat times L. So, we can see na this is just stress times area. This is the area or the effective throat area. And ito yung stress natin, yung allowable shear stress natin. And we can get the weld capacity. So, given naman na sa atin yung allowable shear stress of our weld metal, ito, given na siya, which is 145 megapascals. So, let's talk about the throat area. Kapag ka nagwe-weld tayo ng dalawang metal, let's say itong dalawang ito, ayan, yung area or yung length na nagre-resist ng ating shear is not this thickness. Hindi itong thickness na to. Hindi ito. But for this problem, ito yung actually sinosolve natin. Pero ang nagre-resist ng ating shear is this throat. Ito yung tinatawag nating effective throat. You can see na yung relationship ng ating effective throat with our weld thickness. So since equal sides, no? So alam natin na this angle here is 45 degrees. So relationship nila, effective throat is equal to weld thickness sine 45. Or sa common sa ating board exam, ginagamit ang approximate value na 0.707, ayan, times weld thickness. So 0.707 thickness. So ayan na, may enough information na tayo para ma-solve ang ating required thickness, which is ito. So, ang strength daw natin, ang demand, let's say, is 160 times 10 raised to 3 Newton. So, based sa problem, no, P is equal to 160 kilonewton equal to, so, allowable shear stress, 145 megapascals times 0.707 thickness, and ang ating length, which is just the total length ng ating weld group. So, 125 dito, 125 dito, and 250 dito. And that's equal to 500 millimeters. So, T, our thickness, is simply 3.121 millimeters. Ayan. So, that's it for our first problem. Next naman is, what is the polar moment of inertia of the weld group? Ang polar moment of inertia, so before we can solve it, we need actually the location ng ating centroid ng ating weld group. So let's assume na nandito siya. Ayan. And let's have a reference kung saan natin i-reference yung distances niya or yung location niya. From this reference, sure ako na yung distance niya from here to here is 125 millimeters. Kasi nga, we can see na may symmetrical siya about this axis. Kaya alam natin na nasa gitna siya. So, this weld here is 125 millimeters, diba? And also here. While yung nasa left side, it's 250 millimeters. So, kalahati nun, 125. So, kailangan nating isolve ngayon is ito, yung distance na to for our centroid. And, ayun. So, for our centroid, yung y distance siya from our reference is from symmetry is 125 millimeters. And yung x naman, yung x distance ng ating centroid, so, we just do 125. Tapos, nasan ba yung centroid ng weld na to? So, with reference to this, ang location ng centroid nila is kalahati ng 125, which is 62.5. 62.5. And since dalawa sila, no, pareho lang naman yung distance x nila, yung top and bottom na weld na yan. So, multiply lang natin sila by 2. And for our weld na 250 millimeters yung length, so, reference natin is ito nga. And yung location niya will be 0. Ayan. All over the total weld length, which is, solve na natin kanina, 500 millimeters. And this gives us 31.25 millimeters. Ayan. And now, we go to the polar moment of inertia. And particularly, yung sinabi sa problem is unit polar moment of inertia. So, let's see kung bakit ba tinatawag siyang unit polar moment. But, let's go first sa main equation ng ating polar moment. So, polar moment is actually the sum of our moment of inertia about the x and y axis. But since we can see na lahat ng weld groups natin may eccentricity sa centroid, kailangan natin i-consider yung transfer formula for, ayan, tama. Also, for about the x-axis naman. Ayan. And since tatlo yung weld groups natin, we just have to take yung summation nila. Ayan. Let's consider a weld na ganito yung orientation. So, katulad nung nasa left weld natin, na may thickness, ito yung effective throat area natin. So, titignan natin, ito yun. So, ito yun. And yung thickness nga yan is effective throat thickness and length L ng weld na yan. So, ano yung magiging moment of inertia about the x-axis will become TE L raised to 3 over 12 plus about the moment of inertia about the y-axis naman L TE raised to 3 over 12 plus, and yung area natin, you can see here, our area or effective throat area is TEL. TEL x squared plus TEL y squared. So, if we analyze lang, itong term na to is negligible, 0. Kasi, kung titignan natin, sa term na to, naka-raise to 3 is L. Dito naman, naka-raise to 2 yung mga distances na yan. And yung mga distances na yan, malalaki kumpara sa effective throat thickness natin. So, we can see sa number 1, ito lang yung laki ng thickness natin. So, kapag minultiply dito sa 0.707, mas liliit pa yan. And yung mga distances na to, mas malaki. Katulad dito, 250 millimeters, 125 millimeters. So, kumpara doon sa ibang terms natin, negligible nga ang term na to. So, we can write this as, eto lang, aalisin ang term na yan. As x squared plus. So, in practice, actually, yung ginagamit natin is yung unit polar moment. Wherein, gusto natin yung polar moment per unit length. We acquire it by dividing yung polar moment of inertia natin sa effective throat thickness niya. So, makukuha natin yung final na equation natin will simply be, tanggalin lang natin lahat ng TE na yan. Ang matitira is L raised to 3 over 12 plus L x squared plus L y squared. So, paano kung iba yung orientation? Okay lang, pareho pa rin yung magiging formula natin kasi kahit na magbago yung kung sino yung Ix, Iy, or ayan, yung moment of inertia, okay lang silang magbago kasi pareho pa rin matatanggal itong term na to. So, this will be our final formula. So, lagay ko lang doon sa sinasolve natin. So, ito yung formula ng ating unit polar moment. So, ayan. Isa-isayin na lang natin ngayon yung mga welds natin. So, start tayo dito sa welds na to. So, ano yung length nila, no? 125 raised to 3 over 12 plus yung length is 125. So, x squared, ano yung x distance ng kanyang centroid? Ay, ayan. Ano yung x distance na yan? And, makukuha natin yan. So, by subtracting yung distance niya from our reference, which is 62.5, kalahati ng 125, minus 31.25 raised to 2 plus, at dito naman tayo sa y distance. Ayan. So, kita naman dito, no? Yung distance natin is 125. Ayan. Okay. So, since dalawa yan, top and bottom, multiply lang natin siya by 2. And next, may isa pa tayong welds. May isa pa tayong weld, which is ito. So, length naman yan is 250 raised to 3 over 12 plus 250. So, x squared natin dyan is ito lang. Distance ng centroid na yan. So, saktong yung nasolve na natin kanina, which is 31.25 raised to 2 plus. So, ano ba yung y distance ng centroid niya sa global centroid? Magkatapat sila. So, walang actually y distance. So, 0. Walang y distance. Ayan. And solving, this gives us the unit polar moment of inertia to be 6.022 times 10 raised to 6 millimeter raised to 3. Ayan. In other texts, mas gusto nilang sinusulat ito na millimeter raised to 4 per unit length. Ayan. Okay, so that's for number 2. And our last problem is, if the thickness of the weld is 9.5 millimeters, what is the allowable load P sa problem natin? So, let's analyze this problem. Meron daw tayong, may eccentricity na. Sa number 1, acting along the centroid siya. And since may eccentricity na tayo from our centroid, we know na it will have a torsion or a moment about the centroid. So, for our distances, sa given natin is we know na this is 250 millimeters. Sa ating centroid, from here it's 31.25 millimeters. And here naman, it's 125 millimeters. So, if tinransfer natin yung load P natin at the centroid, so dito, ayan, P, and by transferring, para maging equal itong two systems na to, dapat introduce natin yung torsion na kinakos niya dun sa original system natin. And that will be P times 250 minus 31.25. So, ito yun, no? Itong distance na to. So, simplify ko na lang din. That will be 218.75. So, sa pag-analyze ng weld natin, kailangan lang nating identify kung sino yung most critical. And usually, ang most critical natin ay yung mga nasa corners. Okay? So, alam natin na doon sa number 1 na ganito yung distribution kapag yung load P is acting at the centroid. But here in this problem, kailangan lang natin i-analyze yung nasa dulo. Kasi for our torsion, yung pinakamalaking torsion shear natin will be at the corners. So, may dalawa tayong i-consider na shear stress, which is first is from our direct shear. Direct shear, no, RD. Ayan. So, for our corners, ganito yung magiging mukha niya. Okay. And next is yung torsional shear natin caused by our torsion na ito. No? So, yung torsion natin would look like this. Ganyan. Dito ganyan, dito ganyan, and dito ganyan. But for simplicity, since kailangan nating isolve yung resultant shear sa ating corners, mas maganda na i-component natin siya. So for our, dito, meron tayong torsional shear at its y component, and meron din tayong torsional shear na x component. So, paano natin malalaman kung ano yung direction niya, no? So, wari dito, basta pag ganito yung torsion natin, no? So, dapat pareho sila ng movement from that. Ayan, so, ayan, makikita natin movement pag ganito. Pareho sila. So, dito rin, no? Ito yung moment arm. So, pareho din yung movement. So, following that principle, for the rest, ganito yung magiging mukha nila. Ayan. And then, dito naman. Ayan. So, makikita natin na itong corner na to, alam na natin, parang ma-observe na natin na mas maliit yung magiging resulta niya. Kasi ito, are against each other. So, magsasubtract sila. Mas liliit yung demands doon. But dito, ayan, makikita natin na they're additive. So, mas malaki. And also, sa torsional shear natin, makikita natin sa formula natin, dependent din siya sa distance. And makikita naman natin, no, ito ay 31.25 and mas malaki yung distance na to. Kaya, alam natin na yung corners na to ay mas critical. Kaya, ito yung i-analyze natin. Particularly this corner. Pareho lang naman yung top and bottom kasi pareho yung distances, yung distance niya from the centroid. Direct shear muna. And shear is, diba? Force over area. And alam naman natin ng area natin na kino-consider is length times effective thickness. But, again, gusto natin, and common sa board problems, and in practice, na Newton millimeters. So, ganyan lang ang magiging formula natin. And at this point, I'd like to say na, let's consider P in kilonewtons. Okay, makikita natin kung bakit. Ano lang naman to, no? Para sa akin lang. Pero you can skip this part na hindi mo siya i-consider into Kn. Pero, kung ang Kn natin, if ang P natin is in kilonewtons, then, gusto nga natin newtons, diba? So, dapat nakamultiply yan by 1,000. And ang L natin is 500. So, this gives us 2P for our direct shear. So, kung hindi naka-newtons kaagad yung P natin kapag nag-solve tayo, 0.002 yan. So, mas gusto ko ng mas malaki yung value para mas madali siyang isulat sa calculus. So, solve naman natin ngayon yung torsional shear. Ayan, torsional shear. Yung Y component niya. So, again, gusto natin Newton millimeters. So, ang formula niya ay torsion, x distance kasi Y component. And ang gagamitin natin is yung unit polar moment. Kasi nga, ito yung gusto natin. Ito yung gusto nating final niya. So, sulat ko lang. Torsion natin, nandito na. Pero since kinonsider ko nga na P is in kilonewton, so that is 1,000 P times 218.75. And yung distance niya, so ito, no? Ito ang distance na to, which is 125 minus 31.25 over yung nasolve na natin. Nasolve na natin, ito, no? Ito lang yung gagamitin ko, pero hindi ko na siya isusulat. And kapag simplify natin yan, that gives us 3.4055p. So, again, kaya gusto ko siyang kino-consider na into Kn para ganito kalaki yung natin. kapag ka magsa-substitute. So, next is, ulitin lang natin for our x component naman, which is in Newton millimeters. So, same formula, pero this time, we'll consider the y distance. So, ayan, 1,000 P times 218.75. And yung y distance natin, since ito yung corner na kinoconsider natin, that will be 125. And again, gagamitan lang natin yung unit polar moment natin. And kapag sinimplify natin yan, this gives us 4.5406p. Okay, so ayan na. Ayan ang mga components natin. And gusto natin i-add, makita yung resultant shear natin. So pagka in-add natin yan, ganito yung magiging mukha. Gusto natin makuha yung ayan, yung total. And to do that, we just use Pythagorean theorem wherein i-add natin. So we can see here, no, i-add natin tong dalawang to. Becomes, so yung RD plus RY component ng ating torsional shear. Oops. So 3.4055p. So squared plus, so yung x component naman, since, ayan, and syempre square root, para makuha natin yung total. So kung isipin natin, ito yung ito yung RY, ito yung RX, and this gives us the total RT. And equate lang natin siya sa ating capacity. So demand to capacity tayo. Ito yung demand natin. And ano nga ba yung capacity natin? And our capacity is, given na sa atin, is yung allowable shear stress ng 145 megapascals. Pero let's remember na itong term na to is naka-Newton millimeters. So, paano natin gagawin Newton millimeters ang megapascals, which is ito yung So, multiply lang natin yung thickness, yung effective throat thickness natin. So, given na yun, so, 0.707, and sinabi ng given sa atin is 9.5 yung thickness. Ayan. So, shift solve lang natin. Actually, kung bakit ito, effective throat thickness, if we can remember, sa lahat ng mga values natin, linipat natin yung TE dito. So, makes sense lang na nasa for this problem na ito yung i-multiply natin sa allowable shear stress. So, ayan, shift solve lang natin, and this gives us the allowable P, which is 137.955 kilonewtons. So, medyo mahaba-haba yung problem. Yung sa pag-solve, lalo na sa unit polar moment, and syempre kapag sa corners natin, kapag kasi symmetrical pa dito yung sa corners natin, no? So, madali lang identify na ito. So, for other problems, kailangan mo pang i-check yung iba't ibang corners if mukhang hindi siya ganun ka-obvious. So, mas mahaba. Pero kapag nasanay ka, this problem is quite easy, and ayan, medyo alalahanin lang yung mga formulas. And that's it for this problem.